Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. Evony dropped another update, so I wanted to go through some of what's being done and some of the cool things that are being released. At the beginning, I'll kind of go through uh, some of the stuff that's kind of there in every event, new generals, some of the recurring events and stuff like that. But towards the end, I'll talk about some of the exciting new things that are dropping and whether I think they're worth it or not. So first of all, Ebony sent out a million mails. Um, so first was the Skull Island collaboration event. Basically, it seems like they're trying to do a collaboration with Kong Skull Island. Uh, I don't know, seems kind of weird to me. There is supposed to be a new spiritual beast, but doesn't look like he's here yet. So I guess maybe that'll pop up later after it's actually kind of launched. I'm sure by the time you guys see this, this will already have launched. So, uh, yeah. So, kind of the same stuff. Subsidies, auction house, King's Party, treasure hunt. Treasure hunt is my least favorite of the kind of barbarian style events. But at least you can do it with your bubble on, so it's great for smaller players. So for smaller players that have time on their hands, make sure you get to at least 500,000 scores here, so that uh, or 5 million scores, so that you can unlock some of those rewards. The rewards are still some of the best in the game. Lots of free gems and treasure uh, as well. So let's look at the, the generals. So Sula Sula increases range troop attack by 15%, defense and HP by 10% when the general's archer camp officer. So kind of with the general theme of them introducing better kind of duty generals. This is the archer camp officer, and yeah, definitely better. I think the other one is 5, 5, and 5. This one's 15 and 10. And then also it's of course able to be ascended, which has really great ascension for those that are able to ascend him. Let's look at the specialties. So the only ones that really count are the ones that say applied to Archer Camp Officer. So range troop training speed 20% and capacity is the third one. That one's great, pretty standard. And then the last one is mount troop training speed 30%. That's kind of weird. Why would they have mount troop training speed on the Archer Tower or Archer Camp Officer? But whatever. And then range troop attack. So that range troop attack is an extra 20%. That's great. That's definitely worth it if you can get it. But I mean, I know the rune stones can be a little bit of a challenge. So if you can't get that, I mean, it's not going to kill you. Uh, so then the other one is Wallenstein, which basically looks like another similar general to Tamiris. So 25% range troop attack, and then rally cap 10%. And of course, Ascension. Ascension looks pretty good. Skills look okay. Not a big fan of War God as a third skill. It's much better to have range troop Ares, but what can you do, I guess. And then the last one, 40% range troop attack and an extra 5% rally cap. So total here is 15%. So that's pretty good. Let me just real quick check out Tamiris to see kind of what her max is. I don't know off the top of my head. So 5%, and then an extra 5% here. So 10% total. So you get an extra 5% with the new general. So that could be, pretty good for people who are willing to get it, unlock it, all that. They unlocked a whole bunch of free generals that you really shouldn't be doing much ascension with to ascending. The only ones that you really should be ascending out of these ones, in my opinion, is the Nordic Barbarian King and then Jester, but there's no other way to get another copy of Jester, so I don't know how they're planning on doing that. So really the only one here is the Nordic Barbarian King. They also said here that there's basically a way to see the percentages of what generals you can get from inside it, the general tokens. So that's cool. They're being a little bit more transparent on those. Um, they basically gave you an option to update within the app, whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. Uh, Specialty upgrading, you can do learn all. Basically, you can just get to the next level all at once without having to click through it multiple times. It doesn't use lucky stones, so if you're trying to use lucky stones, not really important, but it's useful if you're trying to do kind of those first three of the specialties, because you really should be saving your lucky stones for the last specialty, because those stones are the hardest to get. Optimization of battle logs, we'll see if that's actually good or not. And then you can quick compose in civilization equipment page. Yeah, whatever. Trial of Knights, pretty standard. There are different generals that are offered here. So uh, okay, those ones are just the duty generals. But so let's actually look at the ones that are offered here. There's actually some decent ones, decent debuff subgens. So you have Nordic King, Constantine the Great, Amir, and Baldwin. So these ones are all premium generals. They're all pretty good, and a lot of them have pretty good ascensions. Actually, I was looking at some of them, and they all look pretty good. So it might be worth picking up a couple copies of these. I will say I am a little annoyed because they changed the rate of the Blood of Ares conversion here. It used to be 3 scores got you 1 Blood of Ares, so it was basically 3 for 1. Now it's 4 for 1, so they decreased that rate. Uh, you know, what can you expect from Evony? But it, yeah, that's a bummer for me because I usually try and get as many Blood of Ares back from this event as possible, since there's always more generals to ascend and stuff like that. So, uh, but yeah, that's one. Of course, refining's back. Pretty similar. I mean, nothing new there. Um, then there's this new thing called Blazon. Um, you can get Blazon chests by defeating Mire squids. We can look at the Mire squids later, and you can open chests to receive random Blazons. Blazons basically are you can use Blazons to add additional buffs to your troops. So, for example, um, if you look at like your troop buildings, you can see Blazons here. Uh, I don't have any Blazons right now, but it looks like they have presets there, and basically you can create set bonuses too, it looks like, as well here. So um, you can get up to 6 Blazon chests from Kong Skull Island collaboration event monsters every day. So it looks like we're getting those from the squid, the the Meyer. Oh, these might be different. Yeah, Meyer squids. Um, I don't actually see them here, but it looks like it's a um, it's a it's one of the rewards from killing those events. One thing to point out here is that uh, you actually can get source of lives here from some of the bigger ones. So if you're trying to participate in SVS and you're not a big coiner, definitely hit a bunch of these higher level mire squids so that you can stock up on source of lives before SVS starts. Because that's there's not a lot of good ways to get those for free. So that is kind of a nice update there. And then let's kind of talk about some of the other things that they did. So if we look at the King's Party, uh, the cake, basically it's similar to the scrolls that you used to get. And then of course, there's different generals. So if you get to level 10, you get Sula, which is the main that archer camp general. But the kind of different part here is that at at the different at the level 4 cake and at the level 10 cake, instead of getting just a general or the latest piece of civ gear, they're actually allowing you to choose which civ gear you want. So basically there's two levels of it, the conquest and the supremacy. But basically and these are across the same levels that they were kind of released in. So this is the lower tier of gear, but you can pick any of the gear that you have that you haven't gotten here to compose it into. So um, I have some of these, but uh, for example, if I bought this, I could choose a bourbon helmet scroll fragment to get, which is kind of cool for those who have missed some of uh, the important equipment, kind of back in the beginning. So, for example, if you missed like the Plantagenet ring or helmet or leg armor or whatnot, you can kind of go back and get that at kind of that same rate. I think it's actually higher now. I think it's essentially around 200 US dollars for the level 4, where a lot of those were released at 100. But at least they're giving you a way to get those old scrolls if you're on a newer server. And then kind of the same thing with the Supremacy scroll chest. This is basically the higher tier of uh, the Civ gear. So, for example, if you have if you want to get any of the old gear that has um, that was kind of in the upper tier, you can see that I don't have like any of these. I have some of the ones that I was able to get for free essentially, but from like Taisha's Wheel and stuff like that. But all the other ones I don't have. So I would love to get, for example, like the Plantagenet bow or the Plantagenet armor to max out that set, or the Freedom Hero armor scroll. Really like that one. Not a big fan of the sword in that set, but that would help me kind of max the set as well. And then the katana boots, love to max out my ground general. That's a big fan of ground, so I would love to kind of get some of that stuff. And then not really too much that I would want on that one. Of course, all the choreo to maximize the defense. Um, Abbas, the siege set, and then whatever. Uh, I'm not gonna spend for this, but it is kind of cool that they give you an option. So, for example, if you don't like whatever the set is that is releasing right now, I'm not even really caring too much about it. But this is kind of the debuff set, I think. Yeah, there's a set bonus for -10 enemy troop attack for each two pieces that you have. So, but if you're not interested in kind of the bigger one this time, you can opt to get a different scroll that you need from some of the other ones. So that's a little bit cool. Still requires you to to pay for it. I would much prefer that they bring back Taish's wheel so that you can at least have a chance of getting stuff for free, and then just have Taish's wheel every event. You still have to play a lot. You still have to maybe coin a little bit to get some of the last scrolls or the last fragments, but at least it gives you a chance to get some of these the Civ gear. And I know some people are still bounded by like that hurdle to unlock the victory column level 1 to unlock keep 36. And it's just at this point it's just too much. It's been like a year. They really need to just start releasing this stuff. But I understand they're trying to make money from it, so they're trying to basically get as much money from people. So uh, if people stop buying it, maybe they'll consider releasing it for free. So something to something to take into account. There's also this growth fund. I don't know. It seems kind of interesting. I don't think that it's really super worth it. I think they're basically trying to find a way to get new small coiners. It's only a 4.99 pack, and it gives you actually a ton of gems. The first and last packs give you a ton of gems. The middle packs give you some, but it still is relatively worth it if you're looking to spend. It might be worth doing that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of mostly it, I think. I think, like I said, there's supposed to be a new spiritual beast that's part of the collaboration, but uh, I don't see it yet. So they're probably launching it a little bit later, and we'll see kind of what the stats and how you're gonna get it later. But let me know what you think of the new event. Let me know what you think of the new option to get Civ gear. I'm sure this is basically what they were talking about in the dev meeting when they said we'll give you quote unquote other ways to get Civ gear in events. This is not really what people wanted, but this is probably what they meant when they said that. So, but yeah, let me know what you think of this new event. And as always, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. See you in the next video.